Two Rows of Twosuns, and just a couple of rows left in this last case. We're going to get to them. Without further ado, we're going to start right here. We've got this row and this row. Whoop, right there. I think this is row 7 and row 8. Yeah, buddy. All right, here we go. Starting off in row number 1, no, we've got a TS432 K110 Steel. Looks like part of the foam got under there. Wonderful milling on the titanium. Can feel it all. Excellent texture on this G10 insert. And pretty cool blade shape. Max to chip design. Spidey flick. Thumb flick. Got a backspacer. Yeah, pretty nice. Excellent ergonomics. Very comfortable in hand. Tall flat grind blade. Yeah, this thing's pretty awesome. TS432. Next. Look at this one. I like these. Got a couple of these. Not sure where the others are, but this is a TS332 in M390 steel. This is a Antimonov design. This one's been anodized. Full titanium, titanium backspacer, titanium pocket clip, M390, wonderful clip point blade. Very light, kind of a smaller, thinner, maybe more of an executive style knife. Excellent action. Look at how snappy that is coming out of there. Pretty sure I have another one of these around that's not anodized. And if that's the case, then this anodized version is probably going to make the sale list. Yep. I mean, I'm kind of down to a point to where I don't keep multiples. You know, I go ahead and purge them out. Yep. Very cool. Very comfortable in hand. Yep. TS332. Now, if it's the only one I got, it ain't going nowhere. Next. This old school piece right here. Look at this thing. TS316. It's in 14C 28N. Long design. And it's got these, I don't know, dimple patterns milled in with other fine milling. It's got other fine milling on that titanium. Beautiful stonewash blade design, titanium pocket clip, titanium backspacer, and it's got titanium liners. And so all that titanium equates to, this is kind of a girthy knife. This thing's got mass. They shortened up these thumb studs so they barely stick out over the edge. I just wish they'd do that with all of the other ones of these thumb studs. Put the short version on. Stop using them big long ones. But yeah, this is a very cool piece. But it's got a lot of mass here in the body. It's all this titanium and scales. It's thick, but very comfortable in hand. Wonderful grip here, and this Pacol grip that I like. Yeah, this is money here, and just the nature of that blade. Yeah, this is very nice. Very cool knife. TS316. Next, got a TS430. Look at this knife. Come on, man. This is an N690. Titanium anodized pocket clip, anodized backspacer, anodized scales, but it's got this wonderful diamond pattern milled in. Creates really nice grippy surface. And yeah, this thing's super comfortable in hand. Traditional vibe, right? Very traditional vibe, and man, do I like this knife. I think that I'm on the hunt for a non-anodized version. It's plenty grippy with the diamond, but I think I'd like this knife better without all this polishing. Yep. But golly, is this a good one. I mean, even with the anodizing, no back flipper, just the thumb flick and the spidey flick. This knife rates really high for me. I like this a lot. Very traditional lines. I mean, I am a huge fan of this knife. TS430 and N690 steel. Yeah, buddy. Very nice. All right, I'm going to stop Googling that thing. Oogling it. Let's move on. Got a TS510 M390 ice carbon fiber is what they're calling that. Look at the milling on it. It's rolled. It's got wave texture in it that goes across there. Really nice in hand. Excellent fine milling in the titanium. See it? Pocket clip, everything. You can really see that texture on that, the humps in here, how they've milled that. I mean, just an extra step. They could have easily just milled it flat, but they didn't. They milled that texture into it. Wonderful. I mean, as much as I was harping this one about being old school kind of vibe, that kind of thing, this one's vibe steps modern a little bit from that one, but man, is it nice. Just as nice. It is so good. Really like this piece, man. I mean, there's two of them side by side that, I mean, if I had to pick my top 20 Twosuns and was going to purge everything else, this one may be on the list. Again, the shorter, pointy thumb studs. Some people don't like them pointy ones at all. I don't mind them. Just don't make them stick out a quarter of an inch over the sides of the scales. Yeah. So they did this one right. I like it. Very snappy on the back flipper. Big, tall, flat grind blade. Very nice. Yeah, I like this one a bunch. TS510. David Chin design. Next, we got here old school. Look at this. Night morning design. D2 steel. Full titanium. Titanium pocket clip. Titanium backspacer. Lots of milling and molding into the scales. Make this thing really comfortable in hand. It's got jimping on the spine, but they smoothed it off. Should have just made it really sharp, but they made it comfortable, but not really effective. Nice compound grind. Beautiful blade. Yep. It's a TS27. Pretty cool. And right next to it, no, wait a minute. Hold on. What are we doing here? Yeah, I think I got off a little bit here. Lost my way. That's all right. We'll keep moving. Okay, hold on. This was a TS43. Yep. This is a TS27. This one's in G10. Yeah, TS27. G10 D2's got the old school black steel pocket clip, G10 backspacer. Wonderful ergonomics. Love the blade shape. Really like the jimping and the platform for the thumb. Big fan of this knife. Yep, TS27. It's not a very refined knife. Like this is old school. This TS27 goes back, I don't, 7 years more maybe. I mean, it goes back to the beginnings of Twosun for sure. And it's not a super refined knife, and you can feel that when it's in your hand. But it's nice, the fit and finish, the quality of the knife, the action. Even the G10's got nice grip on it. It's good stuff. It's just not super refined. The liners aren't really knocked down like you would expect a modern day Twosun to be. And then next, I've got another TS27. This one's in titanium scale. Same blade though. D2 steel. Night morning design. Titanium pocket clip. Titanium backspacer. So I bought this one. Somebody had designed something on it, and it had a coating of paint, some kind of coating on it. And so I sanded all that off. I bead blasted. I did all kinds of different things on it. And then I finally I took my die grinder and I ground this pattern in it. And I think this is where I'm going to end. I've been messing with this knife so many times. I'm kind of at a point to where I think I'm going to stand pat. But I used a die grinder on it, and then I tumbled this with ceramic media for about 10 hours. And so it is super knocked down, very smooth, very comfortable in hand. Yeah, very cool piece. TS27D2 Steel Titanium. Next, got the TS, we go even older. This is a TS16, full titanium, I believe M390 steel. Yeah, M390 steel, full titanium scales, titanium backspacer, titanium pocket clip. And this is TS16. Very cool. Excellent ergonomics, wonderful in hand, nice finger guard to complete a very confident grip. Yeah, this is a cool piece. Early piece, excellent action. Like they went all out. This is definitely one that started some conversation for Tucson. It's like, hey, this is a nice knife. Like Tucson's, legitimizing for sure. Well, and then oddly enough, right next to it is another version of that TS16. This one's in G10 with a really grippy milled pattern in the G10. Super grippy. I don't even know that I can illustrate how sharp that is, other than, yeah, I mean, super grippy, but comfortable. I like it a lot. I mentioned this before. It's steel liners, so then they put the G10 on top of it, so it's quite a bit thicker than just the straight titanium version. Yeah, like the G10 is a lot thicker because it's got the steel liners and the G10. But yeah, very cool knife, wonderful D2 steel. This was definitely a nice budget piece, but a good work knife, solid piece. TS16. Let's start that next row. Oh, actually, I think I'm down here. Yeah, buddy, look at this one. This is a TS465 in 14C28N, and I have had some conversations with this designer, and I'm a fan. I like what he's doing, and he has befriended the channel, and we have had some conversations about knives and knife design and different things, and he has been very generous to me and to the channel. So um, it's an interesting piece, man. At first look, it's easy to look and kind of go, yeah, I don't know. But it's very pistol gripish once in hand. And once you put this in hand, you kind of go, okay, I get it. Like it's super comfortable and it just really works. This choke up spot here, I mean, if you've got a slice, man, I don't know that you can do better than what this knife provides for you. Now, I did see maybe even the designer provided us a picture where he dyed these colorful inlays black and it completely transformed the knife. It looks kind of like something that belongs on a table at like a cantina or something. But when he dyed those black, it completely transformed this knife. And he told me that he did not design that. That came after the fact. So I don't know what that matters because I personally don't hate it, and I'm not changing my knife. It's unique, and the ergonomics on this thing are stunning. And I do like the little one-eyed cactus. Hmm. Yeah, nice stonewash 14C. Next, look at this behemoth. Come on, man. Wow. It's a TS464 Wong design, 14C28N stonewash blade. It's got these G10 scales on top of titanium liners, titanium pocket clip, titanium liners. And so, oddly enough, this behemoth of a knife is fairly lightweight. And so, once you put it in hand, I mean, when I first looked at it, when I got it, like looking at the pictures to get it, I wasn't quite convinced of the mass of this knife. But then when I got it, I was like, oh man, look at the sheer size of that thing. And it does represent a really big knife. But once in hand, I mean, I liked it even more. I mean, you want to talk about a wonderful pocket knife. It's a little thick, but outside of the thickness of it, this thing's awesome. Look at this blade, man. I mean, that's that is a very cool, purpose-built, wonderful knife, in my opinion. And you can, if you dig choking up, this one will give it to you. You know, whatever. Yep. And I did notice that in the next row is its brother or its sister. I don't know. You pick. That's in orange. Same exact knife. I don't know why they're aside from each other, but they are. Anyways, next. Look at this thing. Come on. David Chin design. TS508 M390. It's got this, I don't know, this marbleized carbon fiber. I'm not sure if there's a name for it, but it's got these beautiful inserts on both sides of the knife. It's got like yellows in it, greens, really nice. And wonderful milling, contouring on the titanium scales. I mean, you won't find a lot of that kind of work except on higher end knives. I mean, it's really nice what they've done here. The pocket clip has that same wonderful milling, and you can feel it across the gambit. And so, my age old conversation about knives that have primary grip versus choke up grip, this one has a nice primary grip. Feels good in hand right here. Nice solid four-finger grip, and I can get it. Now, this choke up spot, man, it's not too shabby either. It's pretty comfortable, but it didn't come at the sacrifice of this primary grip behind. I mean, if I had my preference, I'd say get rid of that. Give me a sharpening choil in there, and then move this forward. Push that forward just slightly, which would increase the ergonomics back here, and give the sharpening choil up front here, behind the grind line here. Yep. But what do I know, man? I mean, I take them as they come. This one's pretty awesome, and I do like it a lot. I mean, I can kind of get a grip on it everywhere. It's got a great back flipper, excellent action, nice spidey flick, thumb flick, and then that back flipper's got good jimping on it. Very snappy. Cool. Excellent piece. TS508 M390, another David Chin design. Next. And who do we have here? David Chin design. This is a not a TS502 in M390. And when you see these classic lines right here, what do you think? Am I going to love this knife? I mean, look at this, I don't know, what's that called? I can't call it shredded because it's not really shredded. It's like storm carbon fiber. It's just gorgeous, wonderful stuff. And then raw titanium on the other side, but very finely milled. Excellent action. Thumb flick. Spidey flick. And no choil. Kind of exactly what I was talking about. They were able to move this finger guard forward slightly, give the sharpening choil in the blade, and then do away with that whole choil thing. And the ergonomics on this knife, come on, man. Old school. What a knife. What an excellent knife. Look at this thing. Come on. I mean, one look, I knew I was going to be in love. Be still my heart. Yeah, what a quality piece. Just built to perfection. Wonderful action. Old school. Yeah, I dig it. Reverse grip and the Pakal grip that allow me to get a hammer. Yeah, this thing. This is a good one. Yeah, very cool, David Chin, Tucson, TS502. I'm a huge fan. Again, top 20 list. Does it make it? Good question. Next, let's go old school. Got a TS62. How about it? D2 Steel, night morning design. And, semi oddball. But I got to be honest, that blade shape, man, look at that. Look at that secondary grind, that bevel out on the tip of that. I mean, come on. I mean, this is a great example right here. So here's this, right? A TS62. And then I was just gushing about this dude, this TS502. Well, if I had to pick and keep one and get rid of the other, which one? See, this is why, a top 20 is crazy difficult because this one, excellent materials, new school, but traditional, wonderful ergonomics and action, modern. I mean, it's just such a quality piece. And then this one is older, steel liners, G10, digital camo, and yet, I mean, it is so nice, man. Yeah, be a difficult pick, man, because this thing is just the cool factor on this knife is like off the charts. It's just, I mean, there's just nothing like it, and that blade is so unique and wonderful. It just scores so many points because of that. Yeah, I mean, difficult, difficult. Yeah, TS62 D2 steel, G10 steel liners, mostly a deep carry pocket clip, maybe quarter of an inch or so of the very tip of that sticking out of your pocket. Excellent action. Yeah, two of them back to back that just prove how difficult it would be to go, well, one of these got to go. It's like, okay, well, let's make it a top 21. Look at this thing. TS411 and 14C. Lots of logo going on there, but how cool is it? Right? Very cool. Can't say I know what's up, but it's very cool. I love the cutouts and the swedge on both sides. Very neat. Big, fat, Karakan, whatever that's called, looking style blade going on there. I mean, if you like a blade with belly, this one's got you. It's got your back. And then look at this titanium scale. Wonderful milling all through there. And grippy, both sides. It's matched up. And then the fine milling runs through everything else. So it has grip and texture as well. And so very comfortable in hand. It's a handful. It's a wide knife. Yep. Very nice though. Excellent action. Spidey flick. Thumb flick. Back flippers nice and sharp. Yeah, very cool. You can choke up here. Bunch of cool going on. This is a TS411. Next, got a TS436. So this knife got a lot of interesting feedback when I checked it in and reviewed it. But it's a TS436 in K110, and I am a huge fan of this knife. It's a front flipper only, but for some reason this serape style, like it can take somebody off of a good knife and just go, yeah, I hate it, And I got some of that feedback and just go, yeah, I don't like it. It's got a great choke up here spot, but wonderful ergonomics back here. This thing in hand is so nice. It's a fairly dense knife. I mean, it's got mass. It's heavy. Um, but man, I like it. And what I would say is, I think I've seen it. You can dye these black. It'll dye up black and mostly disappear, and it'll take the bright cantina look off of the knife. Me, I like it just the way it is. It's unique and special, and the front flipper works wonderfully. And in hand, this thing is so refined. They did such a good job. All this fine milling, but then they knocked everything down, and it's heavy and solid and feels wonderful in hand. Look at that guillotine for a blade. That thing, you got to get out of the way because it'll take the tip of your finger off for sure. Very, very nice knife, in my opinion. Next, TS413. Look at this bad dude. This is about 9 inches of badness. Come on, man. Look at that. It's got these wonderful titanium inlays back here. Been anodized. And very comfortable in hand. Does have this choke up spot that is very nice here. I mean, I think you could shave with that there. Very tall, a very thin blade. Unique piece, long, lean, kind of a humpback, but comfortable. Yeah, it's got some jimping on the spine, but it's the kind of jimping that they smoothed over it to make it comfortable, so it's not really effective. Just slide right through it. Yep. TS413D2 Titanium. Pretty cool. Two left. Look at this one. Come on, man. Traditional TS502D2 Steel, G10. It's got skeletonized steel liners nested in the G10 on the inside. So the knife is really lightweight, very comfortable, very nice action. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the budget version of this. Yes. Yeah, they're both TS502s. And so either of these qualify as a great knife, in my opinion. Like if you're on a budget, man, you can't go wrong to pick this thing up. TS502. What a great little work knife, pocket knife. It's got the same profile. I mean, it's just, materials. Doesn't have titanium in it anywhere. G10, steel liners. It's a liner lock instead of a frame lock. So, I mean, that's kind of a bonus. You don't have to worry about locking yourself out of the knife. But excellent ergonomics. It's got wonderful milling throughout this G10. So, I mean, there's grippy opportunities. Deep carry pocket clip. Very cool. I mean, two ends of that spectrum, right? Ultra nice, and then a budget piece with basic same ergonomics, same, same makeup, same DNA. Really a nice little budget piece, though. All right, last in this version, and we're down to the last knife and then two rows of Twosuns, doing the two rows of Twosun videos. So we're getting down there. This is a TS153 in D2. It's got these G10 overlays on titanium scales, titanium liners, titanium scales, I guess. I'm going to say titanium scales, and then these G10 overlays sit on top of those scales. Kind of oddball little, it's just odd. It definitely adds grip to this knife. If you took that off, it'd just be a plain, I mean, it would remind me of a TS21. Very plain titanium, almost slim. It's like a larger version of a ZT the smaller ZT model. I can't think of the numerical version of it, but yeah, that G10. I don't know if it was an afterthought or what, but it definitely adds grip to the knife. No question about it. Yeah, it locks you into the knife. Nice flipper tab that creates a finger guard. Excellent little upswept D2 blade, flat grind. Pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure I can get around a couple of different ways on it. Yeah. TS153D2. And it says micarta. So maybe that's micarta. That's a micarta insert. Which, if it is, I could sand that and get that rougher, and I'd probably like it more. Definitely could dye it. Dye that black, and it'd probably be pretty stunning. Yeah. All right, y'all. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Got one more Two Rows of Twosuns videos to go. Appreciate y'all.